go. Holy cow, TK in
Hey, I
person.
know those guys.
Holy cow.
I know those guys.
Are we really in person? Or is there...
Or-
See, look, we can touch now. For the first time ever, TK and I can touch each other live.
Boom.
This is great, TK.
The real Darryl and TK in the flesh.
Isn't it crazy?
In person, live
a
stream coming
whole-
straight from Forest Hill.
Straight from Forest Hill, the edge of Forest Hill, right?
Outer edge.
It's like very...
Outer edge.
Very not Forest Hill, but here we are.
Here we are.
We are live, and it's under the table, everybody. Which,
This logo.
you know, by the way, accountants don't seem to like when you tell them that your podcast is called Under the Table.
No. It's a lot harder to write off expenses when you submit them to CRA and
That's
say,
right.
these were my under the table expenses.
I wonder if CRA is monitoring podcasts for the word CRA. Maybe we shouldn't say CRA too often today, right?
Let's just keep it simple then. Let's just keep it back to the, the typical topics. Why are we doing a live on a Saturday night?
Why are we? This is we did that a couple weeks ago. We had
I
a
know.
good time. I don't know. This
We
is
already
fun.
have a show tomorrow to release.
We have a show with Santo Sessa, and
Yep.
we're on the Tom Story show.
So 3 podcasts in one weekend
a
of Darryl and
lot of
TK.
Darryl and
Guys,
TK.
we're sorry. We're sorry.
But this is fun.
Yeah.
You know what? We got my son Aiden here. He's running the board. Young Aiden.
Young
He's,
Aiden's
helping us out.
behind the scenes. You can see, obviously, we got this great setup here.
There he is.
We got this logo.
We got this logo that's not really there.
It's not a real
Little
logo.
AI.
It's
We
not
got-
actually there.
and
Dumb Money says it looks like a tropical plant store.
it looks like a tropical plant store. Well, my
Yeah.
wife likes plants, and that's our garden behind us. That's the front garden. So there's a lot of plants.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to have? What do you expect?
Yeah, it's a front garden. Yeah.
What the hell should we have in the background? Like, this is a fun show. It should be tropical. It should feel like,
Natural.
I feel like I'm on vacation.
I don't
right
feel like
now.
there's too many plants. If you had that many plants in every room in the house, you got problems.
Yeah, this
You got
many
problems.
plants everywhere is
Yeah.
problems. But this has a lot of light in this room, so it's good for plants.
So Darryl, what's going on? What's going on in your world right now?
My world is
Yeah.
fantastic. TK.
Good
I'm on
news
top
this
of the
week.
world.
Things are going good for you.
Big
Things are
secret
going
news.
good.
Yeah,
Yep.
big secret news that I can't talk about live on a podcast, but
Yep.
very exciting. Lots of big stuff that I can announce
I thought everything
soon.
was bad right now. Everything was just everybody's just having like
Everything's
real estate
bad.
related news stories were all negative.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Let's put it frankly though. There's a lot of developers right now who are not having the same amount of
yeah, no,
fortune as you.
Most
right?
developers are having a tough time. Most developers are not fortunate enough to be in this niche right now. I mean,
I think it's the site. It's site specific.
well, I don't know if he cut me off there. Okay, we have a little rule. Aiden,
Yeah,
you
I'm
want
not
to
allowed to
explain
cut
the rules of the
I'm
game?
not allowed to cut Darryl off, otherwise I get shot with
Not
The
only
with the
you.
dart.
the rule is anyone who cuts each other off gets shot with this Nerf gun right here.
I
Yeah.
thought he was going to shoot me.
Well,
And if someone cuts someone off 5 times, they get a nut shot.
Well, thank you. Okay, so we're going to try not to do that, but we're not really. So I don't know how many bullets you have, but go easy on us because TK can't hold back. Look, he's already holding back, though. It's working. It's already working. This is fantastic. Okay, so what's going on?
it's site specific.
Well, I mean, everybody wants to talk about Canada as a broad real estate market, and then they want to talk about Toronto or Vancouver or whatever city, but it goes deeper than that, right? I mean, if you have the right product, it's going to sell. I think right now. I mean,
Well,
if
I
it's
don't know.
priced properly.
I don't think it's the right product unless the product is also inclusive of the site. I think it's very site specific. If you got a good site, people want to be there. If you don't have the location, because there's plenty of great developers and builders right now who can't launch,
No, and they even have good locations, or at least what was considered a good location.
and they got good product.
Right. But the problem is that the only buyers out there are the actual end users, the people that are going to move in.
Yeah.
And so when they walk into, 540 square feet, they don't go, wow, this is great.
Yeah, I feel
Right?
like I'm talking to you in the screen. I feel like this is okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Yeah.
looking the wrong way, but that's who cares?
Where should I look?
I don't know.
Right now, this is better.
There you go.
No.
Yeah,
this is
you
better.
should look at you. You should
I'll
look at
so I
me.
have to look at myself. I'm looking at you right now. You said that's the wrong way.
Oh well, I'm looking at you. Does that mean I'm looking the wrong way? I feel like
Well, we're in different positions.
We're both looking at. We're both
Yeah.
looking that way.
All right. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So
doesn't matter.
site specific though, I believe is what makes a project right now viable to go forward. If you've
There's
got
not
sites that
many.
are identical, all up and down one road, or all within one type of MTSA, you're going to have a hard time because there's just too many options for buyers to choose from, and that the developers aren't going to launch.
They made these MTSA zones to give developers more density, make things easier, make things faster.
Yeah.
But nobody wants that. Nobody even wants to build a 50-story building, I don't think, right now.
Yeah.
I mean, people are still putting in applications for some pretty crazy projects, but who the fuck wants to launch?
They're just doing that to please investors, probably.
I don't know, just to
Right?
keep moving, I guess.
Keep more
and
money coming in, keep the
fees going.
Yeah,
And just hoping that, like, by the time things are ready, that the world is a little bit different, right? And so, I don't know, is it going to be different? Some of these high-rise sites, you know, most developers, they don't move as fast as me, TK. That's the honest to God truth. And they don't have sites as small as mine. And I don't know. I mean, they're just bigger projects, so they take a long time to get developed. So some of them, you know, if they're zoned in 3 years from now, I gotta think that by then they should be in the clear. But
So if you look at the 90s and you look at the late 80s with the condo boom, right? Think about that. When was the next condo boom?
when was the next condo boom?
Yeah.
Well, what was
20
it a boom?
years later.
20 years later.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Over 20 years later. Yeah. So from the
When
late
did it
80s
start again?
to actually almost 30 years later. Late 80s, right?
Was it a boom though?
Yeah, big time. 90, 91
was?
condos basically were the product that had just been accepted by society at that time. Otherwise, previously, this was like a taboo. Everyone wanted detached houses. But then when you look at the trajectory of where the condo market started up again, which would probably be around like the teens, 11, 12, 13, 2014, 2015, right? You're talking about 25, 30 years almost before it comes back. Like that's the reality
That's
of
crazy.
of the appetite of the Toronto buyer, right?
So when they thought that they had fixed the system because they realized that they got caught in a system that allowed them to overbuild, right?
Yeah.
And so they brought in new financing rules and new regulations so that you had to get a certain level of sales first, right? Which really screwed everything up, it looks like, in hindsight, right?
Yeah.
Having to sell stuff 7 years before something is built in order to get the thing off the ground,
Yeah.
in hindsight, in retrospect, is a recipe for disaster because how many times have I said this? Who the hell can wait so long, right?
As
Other
an
than
end
an
user,
investor.
nobody.
Nobody. So
Nobody.
why? I
And
don't
so-
even understand why it went the way of condo. Why?
Think about why we talked about this so many times now, right? In New York City, right?
Yeah.
The only real city, I think, maybe Miami you could compare it to, but obviously look what's going on in Florida right now, so not a great comparison. But LA is not the same type of metropolis.
Density, yeah.
But New York City, how they build the building first, and then they start selling the building after it's already built.
Yeah, but
And-
even they're doing it like our way now. in
They're
New York.
starting to,
Yeah.
but it's not the accepted way. It doesn't mean that that's a way that the buyers control the market.
Yeah, they build the whole thing regardless.
But think about that for a second.
Yeah.
The end user now gets to go and walk inside a unit that they can actually buy that's brand new.
It's great. And most people in this like luxury space, they
Yeah.
say like, if you can get off the ground before the typical 65, 70%, if you could be closer to even zero, really.
But I'm trying to get the answer to your question,
Yeah.
which is why, like, are we doing it this way and how long is it going to be accepted for? Well, bottom line is as long as it takes 5 years to put up a building,
Yeah.
you only have investors to buy this product.
Yeah, but that's why then you can't do it anymore
But
because
that-
investors are gone.
But that's
right?
what I'm saying. So what changes? The way we sell condos, and either we build first and the financing changes, right?
Yeah.
Or the timeline it takes to build shortens up. Is that likely? I don't think so.
There's a building in Yorkville. You can try calling it up, Aiden. I think it's 138 Yorkville. And
Young Aiden.
Young Aiden, if you want to pull it up, you don't have to. But 138 Yorkville, I'm pretty sure these guys started construction And then after they got like above grade, they finished the underground, they started talking about sales.
Yeah.
And they're at like $4,000 a square foot.
Yeah.
Ultra luxury, no options, $4,000 a square foot. Yorkville, which I was having a conversation with a very big developer, a partner of ours, in the Thelma deal, and he's built stuff in Yorkville before, and in the past, you know, it was luxury. And now the stuff that they build in Yorkville, they call it luxury, but it's not luxurious.
Same as every other building.
It's the same as
Just
every
modern.
other building.
Yeah.
And now Yorkville seems to have lost its like appeal. You know, like Yorkville is not that like wealthy center of the city where people go to be wealthy. Now it's like just a bunch of posers going to party and hang out, and like it changed. It's like
I started
fake
going to
rich.
Yorkville. So now
You started going?
I started going to
Right, that
Yorkville.
makes
So
sense.
now all of a sudden it's not good anymore.
No,
you know,
but like this is the thing. If you have the ability, if you're a giant company with tons of cash, and I guess you find the right investor base, you can get away with starting the construction without the sales, right? I don't know how you do that though, because especially this is a high rise.
Okay, so if you look at 138 Yorkville, just because you started to do the underground, right, doesn't necessarily mean that you've got your permits. So when you go for your permits, you don't have to have all the financing in place. You can just submit, you can get your permits, and you can build up to a certain level.
I don't think anybody does it like that.
Well, how would these guys? They have all their financing in place before they start selling units? No way.
They must have. These are monster guys. These are
Yeah.
big guys. I don't know what they did or how they did it. They must have put a ton of equity together somehow. Got a giant investor pool who was like, I'm on board with this plan.
Or they had a plan that said, we're not going to give you your money until you get your sales. So we'll allow you to build the garage you want. So now when everyone drives by, because then as an end user in Yorkville, you're going to want to know, like, I'm going to see this project soon, not I'm going to be there in 7 years from now, like the last one.
I mean,
and so
that makes
it was a
sense.
contingency that would have been like, hey, yes, we will confirm that we will give you all the money, but you still need to get sales, but we'll give you part of the money to start doing the underground now too. It's brilliant.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody did that.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that they just kept going and that these guys are so big, they figured out a way to do it. I know from my experience that like people definitely would rather see the space, feel the space, and be able to like finish it off and move in.
Sure.
These are people that are like, I want it,
But
I want it now.
to build a building on spec, how many stories is that building?
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. It's probably like 20-something stories.
That's $150 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Dumb Money asks, is Yorkville like the Surrey of Vancouver?
No, that's Brampton.
They don't have a Yorkville in Vancouver.
No, Yorkville is like just all the people that, you know, let's say you have a $2 million condo in Yorkville, you probably have like a $1.8 million mortgage. Right, and you have like all the Gucci suits, and you got a Porsche, but like next week, if you don't get paid, you're fucked.
And you park your Lamborghini on the street for everyone to see, but you actually don't drive it.
No, you just
it
drive
just
it around
sits there
the
on
corner,
the street,
right?
and then you let people like take pictures next to it and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got
That's
a Rolex, you got that cut. Yeah, everything looks good on the surface. You live in Yorkville, you're in the scene.
Your girlfriend's got fake tits.
Yeah, and she's got gonorrhea, but it's okay because
you're in
Yorkville. She looks good, right?
Yeah.
But that's the kind of people in Yorkville now. And it used to be, listen, Yorkville used to be a bunch of hippies. Then it turned into this like ultra luxury land. And then all the developers came in and ate it alive and turned it into a shit, right?
Yeah, but it's a bunch of old real estate. If you look at who owns all the real estate, that's old money. They've owned it all for a long time. The real estate's crap. The buildings are old. There's so much development that needs to happen there.
There's still a lot that needs to happen.
So much development that needs to happen.
But there's so much going on there now. It's insane.
And there's probably heritage stuff around there.
Yeah, there's a whole heritage zone in the middle. Yeah.
Too much stuff there that to me makes it viable as a future wealth hub. Really.
It's
You know what I mean?
my uncle built the Four Seasons, or I guess he's my cousin technically.
Yeah.
But he built the Four Seasons in there, and that was a crazy deal. What a project. And I mean, that thing, they made it beautiful. They made it luxurious. It's a high rise. But I mean, I just don't think that there's so many people that want to live that high And it like
That was a money laundering hub. That was like, what can we do to bring in as much Russian and
maybe
probably Persian, Iranian, and maybe some Asian
all kinds of dough to
fraudulent
build that
funds.
thing. Yeah.
Let's and anybody who bought. There's so many
I don't
properties.
think we're saying that my uncle
That's okay. He's allowed to interrupt me. You don't have to shoot him anymore, Aiden. Don't worry.
pulling fraudulent moves.
So
let's be clear about that.
So there's so many transactions that happened. They did an article on this a while back ago where they showed the person who bought it at a certain price and sold it at a loss, like within like a couple of years later.
In the Four Seasons?
Yeah, because now think about it. You've just washed that money. So now all of a sudden you brought the money in. Yeah, maybe
Sure.
it costs you a little bit of money, but it costs you some cash to buy the property.
Or
But
to
then you
lose it.
sell it for a loss,
Yeah.
and now all that money's in Canada, liquidated, and you can do whatever you
Well,
want.
I don't
with it.
think that was segregated to there, although that would have been a good place to do a
But
lot
if you're
of
going to do it anywhere,
right? That's a good
why
one.
not do it in a project that's a big ticket item?
Yeah. Well,
This is all hearsay, by the way, guys. There was
Well-
an article about it, but I got no evidence here. So
Well,
look it
I
up.
think-
Look into it.
I mean, I can't imagine that there was a brand new condo built in Toronto that didn't have some of that going on. I don't necessarily think the builders were involved in those things. It was just like part of the system. Money came in from overseas. They bought condos. Nobody cared, right? Why would you give a shit? It's part of the rules.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing. If they want to take a loss here in Canada. Now, people will say that that's a fucking stupid idea and stupid approach because it pushed up the prices for everybody else, right? It pushed this pushed up the prices for everybody else. All these stupid investors bidding up prices on new construction stuff. But I don't know. Is that the case?
The market always balances itself.
How?
This is the truth. So no matter how much foreign influence you have, no matter how much fraudulent influence you have, there'll always be a time where the market will start to correct itself because the bulk of the population are the people who live here, the bulk of the buyers. I don't care what statistics you pull up. The majority of people, I deal with them all. They're all locals. They all live here. They're living in the houses. They're end users. This is what it is. Or they're here. They live here and they buy it as a rental property to rent out. But they're here.
Yeah.
And they're hardworking people with regular jobs. Those are the people who will control the market. If they don't want to pay those prices, then they won't anymore. And the market will set. And foreigners and fraudsters and people, anybody else who's got illegal money, they're not stupid. They don't overpay. They might, what you think is overpay. They might pay a premium over something else, but they're not going to continue to pay that price if the market price is much lower.
Right.
But at the end of the day, as the market price comes down and they're willing to pay a premium for whatever reason, which is very few people, but I know the attitude that people have towards those type of things is they'll pay anything. No, they won't. They're smart people. They got their money. They're going to get the best deal possible in order to be able to make it work.
Money and be dumb.
Yeah.
Well,
so the
people
market balances itself. And so right now we're going to see an adjustment and all that foreign influence that you were just talking about in the end will get washed out. And there's going to be people who lose money. I had a lady this week. She lost a lot of money. And I think overall she's probably out about $800,000 because she trusted an agent to help her buy a property. And, he gave her a bunch of bad advice, overpaid, undersold, private mortgages, fees, interest, $800,000 for a regular hardworking single mom.
Yeah. It's
Crazy. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but does overpaying on pre-construction push up the rest of the market? I mean, I guess so. Does it? If I pay $1,600 a foot for a pre-construction condo, does it push up the condos around it?
It does. It
Like
influences people when they hear that somebody's paying $1,600 a foot for the building next door.
Yeah.
What the realtor dialogue is
now.
well, when these close in 4 or 5 years from now, that's what this resale will be worth.
So a little discount off of that.
And so you're
there's
paying
your
$1,100,
price.
but there's multiple offers. Let's go in at $1,150 because it's going to be worth $1,600 when those ones all close. And that's the dialogue. But that's not happening anymore.
No.
Think about it.
Not well. What is happening now? Is there anything happening now?
There's lots happening out there. There's lots of
you
sellers
came in
listing
here
their
today.
properties.
Yeah, you came in here today saying, "Man, I'm
Listing.
like, I gotta
Listing.
turn down listings."
Everybody's just listing right now. They're all saying, let's go. And we're like, yeah, we're going to get it sold.
Hold on.
And they're like, just give me the same price my neighbor got last year. And I'm just like, it ain't going to happen.
So, but this has been going on for years. Like we've been on a
3
downward
years.
trajectory. How long?
3 years.
downward trajectory for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Okay, I felt like it was more like 4, but okay, fine. So 3 years we've already been heading down.
Yeah.
You come in here today going like, I got all these listings and I'm turning down giant size listings because they're all like out to lunch, the people with the prices.
Yeah, well,
if
if you want 15 million for your house and it's worth 9.
Well, but hold on a sec.
If you want 5 million, it's worth 3.
Well, but what was the most interesting was that as we were talking, you said that they're new houses.
Yeah.
Right.
New
These
builds.
are all builders.
Custom homes.
Or custom homes, right? So smaller builders building something, living in it now or pretending to live in
living in it with their families, big families.
Had to move in or always the part of the plan?
Both those two scenarios, both Indian owners and both with families here living inside the house.
Yeah.
Both like regular jobs.
Both regular
Like I was like, oh,
jobs.
what business are you in? Like what kind of like, especially the one there that was like,
In what kind
they
of
wanted
a
15
house?
million. A house that the one guy spent 3 million just to build it. And so he wants 5. It's not worth more than 3.
How many people are living there?
I only saw 3 in that one. It's a regular family, maybe 4.
But they're builders?
No,
they built
he
it?
just, you know what? They made money in real estate. Both
How?
of them the exact same scenario. They were both flipping houses, buying and selling, keeping, being financially responsible. Probably in the sons I was talking to, the sons were in their 20s,
When did
maybe
they build this then?
within the last 2 years. Just finished
But
it.
what's with the timing?
Why? Because they made all their money in real estate and then they dumped it back into this one final glory build,
When?
and that it was gonna be
But like if
COVID.
it's wasn't that the wrong time?
well, yeah, but they're finding out now.
Finding out
After
now.
they've
But
already
they didn't
finished it.
realize back then when the whole
Nobody
world was
did.
falling apart.
Did you know that the world was going to fall apart back in 2020, 2021?
I was buying too.
You were buying
was-
too. Me
no,
too.
actually, in 2020, I was getting 2021, I was getting the fuck out
Sure.
as fast as I could.
Sure.
2022, I was
23
buying.
we bought again.
We started in 2022 or 2023?
23.
23.
Yeah.
Okay, so 23, started buying again.
Yeah.
Buy again.
The
in
bottom's here.
24.
Yeah, right.
Right? But
That was a good buy.
I think they were both great buys.
Yeah.
But I mean, as the market, if I go back in time now, okay, if I go back in time to 2007 or 2008, as the news was getting really bad, as I would drive to the job sites and listen to 680 News on the radio, and
your info.
right, and my gut was going, God damn it, this is not good. This is not good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm crazy or delusional right now,
Yeah.
or if I'm in my own little bubble, but like right now, the world is falling apart around me, okay?
Yeah.
But I feel like my deals are safe. Now, back in 2009 or 8, I didn't feel like that. I had like the most typical houses in this great area. It was like the wrong product in the right area at the worst time ever.
Yeah.
Now I feel differently, but maybe I'm crazy, right? But it seems like from like actual facts and evidence that these units are still moving in the market, which is nuts, right? People are still. Somebody I know just sold a unit for $3,000 a foot, and it was like a 3,200 square foot unit.
Sure.
Okay, it was in Forest Hill.
We have a luxury product right now for sale, and that there is an active buyer on it right now as well too. So the ultimate like wealthy people, they're the ones who are going to be spending money still a little bit more, freely. But again, they got money.
They have cash.
They know what that's worth.
But don't they need sentiment? I don't know. Were we supposed to read that because it was tiny? What
Yeah,
did it
just
say?
okay. So
talk.
he wants to go to the comments. So
I don't want to interrupt you
Yeah,
guys. while the
interrupt
show's
us.
No, don't
flowing,
worry. The
but-
comment, the
You don't
comments
get
will
shot if you interrupt.
we'll come in for the comments when we need them. But right now, you guys they're chatting. They're interacting. They're interacting.
Why, what
in the
did he
chat.
say? What did you say?
I was just saying, you finish your point, we can take it on all the comments.
Yeah, let's go. Do you want to?
Yeah.
How do we do it?
Well, I can read them
Do
to
we
you.
have
I got
people
'em, I got
watching
'em,
the
I got 'em,
show?
I
Is
got 'em
anybody
here.
even here?
I got them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a ton of people chatting right now.
But you know what? They're just talking about normal stuff. They're having a conversation. So
What's
the worst is
happening?
yet to come. Bottom's in. Bottom was a month ago.
Bottom
Signed
was
up for a
month
visa.
ago.
Hope you're making bank on your ad revenue. Thank you.
Are we
7
getting
minutes
lots
into
of
the first
ads?
period in the NHL Finals right now. There we go.
Is the J game finished?
Yeah, Jay's one.
Jay's
Bottom is about-
Dumb Money says that only rich developers wear loafers like that, Daryl.
Only rich developers wear loafers like that? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go.
Dumb money.
But what's going on out there otherwise? So I mean,
What's going on?
Let's talk about the Elon and Trump thing. How cool is this?
This is crazy.
This is so much fun to
So
watch.
Crazy.
I love it.
So
He is-
unexpected.
Yeah.
And I got some videos ready for this because there's some
Yeah.
interesting theories going on out there about
His
this.
butt is hurt.
It's like, well, like if I don't know how, like, did you follow the whole progression?
I think so. Yeah.
What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
how come all of a sudden you're slicing the guy's throat?
Like, it can't just be about EV. There's got to be some the EV
no.
credits. There's got to be
There's
something
weird
else
shit
more.
going on. The guy had a black eye.
Yeah.
He's handed the keys to the city and told, "Thank you for your services.
We don't need
which-
you anymore, which
he
was
wasn't-
normal. That was supposed to happen.
That was the timing,
Yeah,
right? That was
yeah.
the right timing for
Yeah.
that whole thing. So
Drop in the comments if you have anything else to add to this conversation. This is good hot stuff here.
I don't understand though. Like they went from like everybody's favorite
Bromance.
couple
It was fucking bromance. Those two were just loving
to
each other.
What the fuck? Like nuclear. Okay. Elon didn't even wait a day to throw the Epstein Island thing in there.
We all know Trump is in there anyways. Does anyone care? Like, not to say that in like a, does anyone care that he's like with younger girls, but does anyone not already know that Trump was on that island with young women? Like, who would, that's exactly where he was.
I think everybody, it seems, was.
That's
on
exactly
this
where he
island.
was,
What
right?
happened? What's going on here with the screen?
Everybody was on Epstein Island
Can you
at
put
one
on
point.
the?
I'm trying to find the shrub that
Right?
you gave me, but it's not.
It's okay.
it's
We're
not
chatting.
shared
It's
with me.
okay. Let him work
I
on it.
didn't
It's okay.
share with you.
You didn't share it with me, no.
No way.
It's okay.
Also, TK,
Yeah.
it's better if you actually look at yourself,
Okay.
right? Because you're over here, right?
Yeah.
What email did
Yeah,
I
it's
look
better.
at?
Because right now you're like kind of looking off screen.
You gotta
here.
look.
I know.
Chris
But I want it to be like comfortable for me too. But everybody knows that he's been on Epstein Island. Everybody was on Epstein Island. Bill Gates, Trump.
Bill Gates got divorced because of Epstein Island. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. No.
Like, honestly, I bet you it was a really good time, minus the underage girls. I bet you it was a party that a lot of people would want to go to. And then there was underage girls, and that was the secret part to it. It's like the Diddy parties, you know what I mean? Not everybody who went to the Diddy party was like coming in for the freak-offs afterwards, right?
Well, from the sounds of it, I
No,
mean
it's
that's a
not like
whole
that.
other thing. The Diddy parties.
Yeah.
I sent it to your WhatsApp, Aiden.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that on the
It
computer.
does not
or-
help me at
But
all.
here,
You want it on? Hold on, I'll put it in there. 1 second. One moment, please. Have a nice day. But
then Elon starts talking about like he's got his defense contracts and the defense missile contracts and everything else like that.
First, he says the best way to save billions of dollars quickly
Yeah.
is to get rid of all of the grants that Elon Musk's companies get.
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody pointed this out before.
Yeah.
I don't know why Biden didn't even do this, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he's got $40 billion or something of government grants.
Yeah.
So Trump's talking about getting rid of that and taking away the EV rebates from the guy who just like gave him, I don't know, $200 billion towards his campaign and maybe got him elected.
Yeah.
It's like, and if you even go back a little further, they were in Dubai and like all the AI stuff was about Sam Altman and Microsoft and Nvidia and nothing
Yeah.
about XAI or Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So it's like some weird shit. And then the guy's got a black eye. And then
Yeah.
now they're just punching each other in the face in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, how does it get to that?
It's
Last week-
emotional.
It's crazy.
If they get back together, this is the most toxic relationship of a bromance that's ever happened publicly.
It's a crazy breakup.
Oh God, I hope they get back together.
Aiden, your Aiden F Rocks, it should have gone to. Like, it should be in your invites. Go to your other shrubs invites.
I love it.
Isn't
Let's see what guys have to say
You
here.
got to join the shrub, bro. You
So
gotta join the shrub.
Daryl's freak-offs. I have been, and they are what you would expect. Okay,
They
so
are freakish.
I hope you can all make it. Big beautiful Bill, welcome to North America. I don't know what that says. Looking
well,
sharp,
that's the
boys.
point of contention. This is where the whole thing kind of started.
Daryl's
to
version of
derail.
Epstein Island.
This is Epstein Island,
Yeah,
Frankfort Island, It will be a place.
Yeah.
The big beautiful bill adds all kinds of debt to the country.
Yeah.
And Elon's like, hold on a sec. Like, I just removed all this debt from the country. This is counterproductive. What the fuck? Like, Elon Musk has been like a patriot on a mission to like save America, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so he jumped on board with Trump, and now Trump's new bill is like, what the fuck? This is not good for anybody.
Yeah.
Well, it might be good for some fat cats, but it's not good for the people. Like, what the fuck you doing, right?
Yeah.
And so then it just goes fucking off the rails like one of our shows.
Yeah.
And then Elon just slices his throat, and then it ends. I don't think anything's happened since he threw the Epstein Island bomb out there. Now they're just posting stuff like everything's normal and okay.
Yeah.
I think.
I hope they get back together. That's all I'm saying.
Were you able to find one of those videos talking about Trump there and Elon? Yeah. You want to put one of them on? Because there's some interesting theories that this is like staged and this is a plan and that they're playing like 5D chess or something. Here, check this out.
Yeah. But they always say that anytime anything happens in the public, everyone always comes up with the conspiracy version of it's fake, it's staged, and sometimes they're right.
Yeah, I mean,
But this seems pretty personal.
Been...
For Trump to be like, yeah, sure, you can say that I'm in the Epstein files.
He didn't even say that, though.
No, but that would mean it was staged. If that's staged, it means they're in cahoots.
Right.
And if Trump is like, okay, well, then you're going to say that I'm in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tell you you're going to lose all your grant money.
Well, hold on a
You
sec.
think
Here.
he would be allowing that? Come on.
Before you play this one, play the Joe Rogan clip. So just so happens, check this out. So just so happens that Joe Rogan finds out live on the air with Kash Patel, the FBI head.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're starting to talk about the Epstein Island thing. You got to see this. Do you have that there?
I'm queuing it up.
Okay, this is crazy because, I mean, what is the chances of the timing? Like, all of a sudden, there's this big push about this fight, and it even happens live on Rogan with the head of the FBI.
Yeah,
but it's like, watch this. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
What's it titled under?
It should say Rogan finds out or something like that. It's one of the first ones about Elon.
Not on here.
It's totally on there.
Well, regardless, you got basically. So here's one thing that's important to understand. No matter how much money and power you have, right?
Yeah.
It's not everything.
Oh, is it not
right?
on there? What the fuck?
No matter how much money Elon has, no matter how much power Trump has, it can all be taken away. Your grants can be taken away. Your government contracts can be taken away. Elon's got what he bought Twitter with, right? He's got loans that he bought Twitter with. Right. And those are all based on the value of Tesla. Right. So the value
anymore. No, not anymore. Because he did something with
That's what he says he did. That's what he says he did. But it doesn't mean that the loans still don't have Tesla share guarantees.
What was that?
Right.
There should be a clip of Rogan finding out live with the guy, Kash Patel. Yeah. Is that a shitty version? That looks.
Donald Trump. Disappointed in Elon. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Jesus Christ.
I'm not participating in any of that conversation.
That's the crazy part. Pause it there.
Have a nice day.
Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, says, I'm not participating in this conversation.
Yeah.
And then watch, he's going to go on to say that I know my lane and this isn't it. The head of the FBI.
Yeah.
Okay, his lane is not that the president of the United States was on Epstein Island how many times.
I wonder if the investigation is even still ongoing. Like, I wonder what the level, right? Ghislaine Maxwell's in jail. Epstein's been suicided.
He's been Epstein.
Right? And so, I mean, like, really, like, is there anybody who could be sitting around going like, yeah, we should look into this right now?
Yeah, like a lot of people.
The public.
A lot of people.
The public.
But they promised on day one of presidency he's going to release the list.
I'm saying the public is wanting this, but is the FBI, are they using resources?
No.
Right? Or they're just like, all right, the bad guys have been caught.
Yeah, forget about it.
Right? I'm just saying. There's
right?
Listen,
Obviously,
the enforcement agencies are busy, man. They got funding to worry about too.
So it's crazy. Okay, so but they
Okay.
okay. So
Are we gonna watch this? Is this what?
well, we don't even have to. The point
Okay.
is like as it's coming out on Twitter, Rogan and Cash Patel are talking about it.
Yeah.
And then so it spurs on like all these conspiracies about what the fuck is really going on here. So
Yeah.
put on that other clip that you had queued up because it's like I don't know how people come up with this stuff.
DJ,
But then it also like none of it makes any sense. And then you'll have people say, "Oh, I saw it coming a mile away."
Yep. Everybody says that after the fact. It's so easy to say. I knew the market was going to crash.
Of course.
I knew the condo market
Trent
was going to
knew
be.
it for
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
Did you not press play?
Between Elon Musk and Donald Trump was in fact staged. I mean, think about it.
I don't think we can
Elon
hear it.
Musk
No.
has been losing
Can
support
they hear it?
from the left for years.
Just quiet.
He bought Twitter.
No good?
Well,
Try the other
anyways,
one.
It's
I don't want
quiet.
to.
You
I don't
can
want
hear
to talk
it.
about this topic for too long. I know it's
Well,
under the table,
It's pretty
but people do
crazy.
come here for some real estate stuff. So connecting this now back to the GTA sort of real estate market stuff.
How would you connect this to real estate?
So you've got right now instability in the employment sector. So you got unemployment rate going up now across Canada to 7%, Toronto at 9%. I think Ontario was 10%. I can't remember the exact number.
crisis levels.
But
Oh yeah, that was
you
the
have a
thumbnail.
lot of jobs. I dealt with a guy this week who had a factory. He's got multiple factories in Canada, and the States, and in China. And then now he just built another one in Ireland because he said they kept going back and forth on him, deciding on is there tariffs, is there not tariffs. He finally just said, well, I don't need this.
Yeah.
So I'm just packing it up.
Where do
I'm
you
bringing
go?
it to Ireland. I'm
Ireland.
doing my manufacturing there. I've got it all set up. And even though the tariffs don't, affect him anymore, he's like, I'm just going to keep it in Ireland because it's just making my life a lot easier. And so when you have people who are worried about the markets, now you got people like Tesla's a big part of the stock market, and you start having the shares drop 14% on this news.
Yeah.
There's a lot of volatility that creates.
But they're saying that that's the reason that they wanted to create the volatility in the market and crash the market. There's this whole theory out there about
Yeah, but
them
they said
trying to like crash the market so that the bond market reacts a certain way so that the interest rates can get lowered.
yeah, so that the big investors could come in. But the market already rebounded. The S&P 500 was already back up to record highs after the whole tariff thing had taken place.
Is
so
the tariff thing still happening?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah, you got tariffs on
We have
the steel
tariffs.
and aluminum and the cars and stuff like that are effective, and then the China-U.S. tariffs. But remember, it's a 90-day pause, so we'll see, right? He's got
We're in the middle of the 90-day.
we're in the 90-day pause still,
This
right?
is how much stuff happens so
Can you put the screen
often.
back up, Aiden, for us, the two of us? And so it's like, yeah, you've got all these things that are like making
Oh, there
just
we go.
the markets in Toronto real estate. I really believe this is impacting the real estate market because I've had a lot of buyers just kind of say, hey, you know what? I don't think it's a good time. Why don't I just wait and see what happens? And that
But
creates
this is what's happening.
and then coupling that because of the uncertainty, we've had so many sellers now come to us. And so, example, the sellers that I met with recently are financially okay. They're not in a position where they need to sell at all, but they're feeling uncertain about the market, so now they want to list. Okay? And what happens when we
So
have more
dumb.
listings and less buyers?
Yeah, nobody gets
Compounds the
sold,
issue,
right?
right? It's too confusing. You go out to see 3 houses, and then you look at the next weekend, and there's 3 more houses that you like. And then you go, well, next weekend there's going to be 3 more that are like, why should I buy today?
You don't think that's tied to the unemployment? Like all these houses or people that are
It's uncertainty. If you see people getting laid off in your company, do you feel very safe in your job?
I mean, I would imagine.
Have you ever had a job at a
depending on-
company? I haven't really either.
Yeah, it's
so I
been a
mean, I
long
don't know.
time,
But,
I can imagine that certain people will feel more secure right now than others. But if
Yeah.
I was in my 50s, which I'm not, by the way,
He's not.
but if I was in my 50s working for somebody else right now,
Yeah.
I'd be shitting bricks because what do people really do at work these days? It's like a bunch of fucking emails. It's like all just emails and phone calls and like
Yeah.
people are not doing rocket science when they go to their jobs, okay? Most people are not doing much at all, quite honestly. Like
Agreed.
most of the day is spent chit-chatting, eating, shitting. Shitting takes a long time when you have a job, right? You got to
Yeah.
read like the whole newspaper when you have a job.
Yeah.
Or I guess now, yeah.
Newspaper.
That's how long it's been since I had a job. Okay.
Okay.
I
That's
used to
fucking
read
old.
the newspaper when I took a dump. The last time I had a job. That's a long time ago.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
There's still
No, but
newspapers.
The point is,
and people taking dumps.
read and they take their time and they don't do stuff. People are probably on TikTok all day at work, right?
Swiping videos.
Who knows what they're doing?
They're
okay?
swiping videos all
but
day
they're
long.
not working. That's for certain.
Yeah.
And I gotta think that if you got half a brain and you look at the job you do, you're going, fuck, I'm going to be replaced really soon, right? Or how can they not at least replace me with like a 20-something-year-old kid that will take half the money than I'm taking?
So on that point, one of the clients that I'm dealing with is financially stable, but they have a lot of their net worth locked up into the value of their home. And so for them, it's like, let's cash out now so that we can downsize before it's too late, because we saw where the value of our home was a couple of years ago. It's not there anymore. So why don't we have, an opportunity now to take out whatever amount of money we can, because we're going to go and downsize into something else. And so it just spurs these little activity, this economic uncertainty spurs activity in the opposite direction. When we've got prosperity, people go, I don't need to sell.
Yeah.
I'm not
Where am I
moving.
gonna go?
Things are good. I'm not listing my house. Right?
If
and
I
so there's
sell this
scarcity.
for that, I gotta pay this for the next one. Like, forget it.
There's scarcity in the housing supply, and everybody else says, "Yeah, buy. Now's the time to buy. Let's go." But the people I'm dealing with who are selling, who need to sell. Okay, there's a few people who are like, going to be tougher to get their heads wrapped around pricing in this market, compared to before. But there's some people who are like, they're sellers. They are like, we're selling no matter what.
But they're in trouble, not just because they want to get out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They need to sell.
So, but what's weird is all the people like you're saying that are like, well, I guess it's not weird.
It's human nature.
Listen,
People
I
are
just
sheep.
don't understand how you don't go, okay, there's so many listings. Now's not the right time.
Sheep.
Why did everybody wait so goddamn
Sheep.
long? Sheep?
Why is everyone buying at the same time?
I think people just keep
The wrong
thinking
time to buy.
it's about to turn around. And then it just keeps getting further away, the turnaround.
It's just human nature. It's just you.
human nature.
You feel safe doing what everybody else is doing.
I feel like it's...
Think about the toilet paper. How many rolls of toilet paper did you have already at your house when you were lining up to buy packages of toilet paper?
I don't even think we went crazy for toilet paper. We literally bought everything but the toilet paper.
Okay.
I have to go check what we bought.
Fine.
I got pictures of that haul.
Fine, you may not be the right person to ask.
We should have bought a lot of toilet paper.
How many people do you think were loading up on toilet paper even though they
it's
had
insane.
6 months worth of supply at home, and they were just like, well, everybody else is buying it. It seems like this would be the logical thing to do. We need 12 months of supply.
I'm always like not with the grain, so
Well,
I'm like not
But
the right...
the reason that happened is because people are following the trends. They
follow the
feel more
trend.
comfortable
if
doing what
everybody's
everybody
getting
else is
toilet
doing.
paper, I better get the toilet paper.
If I see everybody else listing their houses right now and prices are coming down, I want to list my house right now too, because I want to beat the rush. I want to submit a worksheet on a property that makes no sense. The performance makes no sense. The future valuation, the rent guarantee, the interest rate, the location, the layout.
Literally
nothing makes sense. But there's 1,500 worksheets on that site.
Yeah, something
And
I
my
gotta have it.
pre-construction realtor who got his license 2 years ago, and he's already driving a Lamborghini, he told me that this is the project I should buy because why? There's 1,500 worksheets.
That's right.
Not because of anything to do with the site.
Just give us your top 4 options for units.
And your checkbook.
Right? A check and your signature, and we'll see if we can get you a unit in this building.
But don't you dare back out. If I get you a unit, my reputation, I'll never bring you a deal again. That's how they used to talk.
No, and they're like, I'm going to have to pay somebody to line up for us so that we can get a suite in this thing.
Yeah.
This is literally what it used to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, but now we're talking about... So 9%.
See how we did though? We went
unemployment,
from Elon to unemployment.
It was horribly transitioned, but it worked.
It's
it
okay.
worked.
We're
We
good.
did it well.
We're good.
I
All right.
guess.
All right.
I don't understand how it works, but it works because we work, TK.
The lighting
We
is
work.
fantastic in here, by the way.
Everything
This
is
just
perfect.
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 We are
This
just
is
like
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's
Rude
beautiful.
Boy wants you to show your toes, Daryl.
I will not show my toes. I will not show my toes.
The
Who's
money
Rude Boy?
ask if TK is wearing a Rolex.
Of course, he's wearing a Rolex.
No, it's
this
not a
is-
Rolex.
TK wouldn't wear a Rolex. He's way beyond Rolex at this point.
Yeah, right.
Why would he wear a fucking Rolex? He's not a peasant.
Yeah. Oh,
Tom's
man.
story says looking sharp, boys.
Tom's story. We'll see.
Who's that
tomorrow. Yeah. What?
We have no idea.
Who's Tom Story?
Tom Story.
No, Tom Story.
From the Tom Story show.
He's
Yeah,
friends
yeah,
with
yeah.
that guy that they call the GOAT out
S.
there. In,
What's his name? He starts with an S.
Steve Surrey.
Steve.
Surrey Steve.
Steve Karish.
Steve Carrish.
They're all right. They're all right.
Okay.
They're good guys.
Tomorrow morning, I would watch them tomorrow at 9 a.m.
I'd only watch them tomorrow. Like out
only
of all the
tomorrow.
days to watch them, I think tomorrow would be a good opportunity to watch them.
Yeah, I mean, just
Yeah.
roll right in from the show that you always watch into that show that you've heard about.
They're kind of like the smarter, better, more, polished versions of us, basically. That was their like business plan.
Well, I mean, I think that's fair. I think
Okay.
that's fair. They're definitely better. They're definitely more polished. But I mean, if you like that kind of thing,
If you like that
if you
kind
like
of thing.
better and polished,
They're above board. Is that what we call them? We're under the
on
table. They're above board.
They're on the table.
Yeah, they're
we're
above
under
board.
the table.
Yeah.
But it's way more fun under the table. I gotta
Way more
say.
fun,
I
guys.
mean,
It's way more fun.
it's hard to watch that show.
Think about
on
it. If
most
there's an
days.
earthquake, where do you go?
Under the table. I mean,
Come on, safety.
under the desk, I think, is where it's supposed to be because you only learn that in school.
Sure, but there's a table in the room. That's that's
Where
the
would we
option
go
that you got.
here, Aiden? If we had an emergency here, where do we go? Do we have
The
an
basement.
emergency contact spot?
You go in the basement.
What if we had to get out of the house because it was like raided by?
We live in the suburbs. Like, there's no buildings collapsing on
We're
us.
in
We
Forest
just walk
Hill,
outside.
Aiden.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah.
We're in fake Forest Hill.
Yeah.
No, we're in here. We're
We're
right here.
The studio.
Don M asks why
Don
realtors
M is
dress.
here. Don M, the legend.
Well, he left. You guys
left? We
didn't
ignored him?
look at chat. You ignored him. But he's
Sorry,
asked,
Donnie.
why do realtors dress the same?
Why do all realtors dress the same?
We actually get a discount. We get a discount on clothes with
Hmm.
our AREA membership. We get a discount on vehicles. You get a Lexus
at this one place.
at the Lexus dealership. They give you get a Rogers cell phone, and you get clothes from Winners.
It's part of the package. Like when you graduate
Yeah.
school, they hand you one of those like tuxedo bags full of your new attire for
Yeah.
the next,
Yeah,
few
and actually
years.
it depends on how long you've been in the business, and then you upgrade from there.
Don't you downgrade as you get older? Doesn't it get a little more casual? Like
That's
don't you-
that's the final stages.
final stage.
Yeah, it goes
But
up.
At first, you have a beard, right? You
Yeah.
make yourself look a
You got
little
your
older.
your sleeve
maybe
tats,
a tie,
and you're just
right?
like making yourself like kind of like a hipster realtor.
Yeah.
And then you get a little bit more formal, and then you get super like luxe and douchey.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you go back to like loafers and golf shirts and t-shirts, and
Right.
like your belly's out to here, and
Uh,
yeah. This is so real.
wear loafers.
That's so true. Yeah.
Well, I'm not a realtor, but I mean, listen, it's always nice to not give a fuck what you're wearing to anything.
But if you are a
I got
realtor,
there. I used to give a fuck, man. I used to wear a suit to work.
Yeah.
I used to wear a suit all over the place. Think I was a big important guy. I feel more important when I walk in with a hat and a t-shirt now, and everybody going,
well, that's what
"Who's this guy here?"
that's what the guy Robert from Shark Tank said. He said, "Where's that Dragon's Den?" He said, "When you go,
Jerkovich or whatever.
Yeah.
Jerkovich.
when you go into a room
Robert Jerkoff.
with somebody, the guy you want to talk to, if you're in a room full of suits,
Yeah.
is the guy in a t-shirt.
Yeah, the quiet guy in the t-shirt.
Yeah, he's the guy that you want. He's the one who makes the decisions, right?
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
he's worked the hardest
He does-
to wear whatever he
He doesn't
wants
need to wear a
now.
suit. He
He
doesn't need to
have
wear a suit anymore. Yeah.
But this is the progression, I think, to because when you're young, people don't take you seriously, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, what the
Since
hell
it's
are
a
we talking
live
about? We're talking
show,
about not having
since
a
it's a
job.
live show,
Yeah.
and we won't have a time to put in the ad, if you're in real estate and you're thinking about making a change,
There you go.
go to jointeamleo.com
That's a good idea.
because best decision I ever made in my
Best-
entire real estate career. Doing
I've
it for
heard
17 years, and I'll tell you right now, this will be the best decision you ever made as well. So, or just reach out to me directly. There's a link below. You can talk to me, and I'm happy to talk to you about it. So that's it.
That's right.
Can we get a hooey?
Who we?
TK doesn't
Nice.
watch the
Sweet.
show.
There
yeah.
you go.
Oh.
See, TK doesn't actually watch the show. He doesn't know what we
What am I
say.
supposed to- I'm supposed to commit to recording it. I'm supposed to record for an hour, and then I got to watch it for an hour too.
It's
No,
insanity.
that's too much.
Wow, that's
It's
2
too
hours of my
much.
time, man. I got lots of stuff going on.
Rose
TK's
Overdose wants to know if
Rose
TK
Overdose.
wears Rolex.
Yes. Yeah, it's a Rolex.
Rolex.
It's a Rolex.
It's a Rolex. What is your watch, TK? Is it like
It's a
a
Tag
Peugeot?
Heuer. It's not
It's a
even
what?
that.
Tag Heuer?
Yeah,
Not that good?
not too expensive.
that bad?
It's
Not
nice.
that
It's a nice
expensive?
watch, but it's not that
I
expensive.
don't wear a watch. I find watches annoying. I
Yeah.
haven't worn a watch since I don't even know when the hell last time I had a watch. I never even had a good watch ever in my entire life.
Yeah.
Don't you just have a phone on you all the time? I feel like it's like redundant.
I think it's a more of a fashion thing.
It's a
more
fashion
of like
thing.
Feeling good about yourself. when
Clearly,
you're out
I
there.
have no fashion sense.
You're
and I
a
don't care.
fashionista. Come
I'm
on,
a fashionista.
Look at you. Look at
What
those.
are you talking about? I'm wearing loafers.
Look at that chest hair.
Look at the chest hair.
Yeah.
This is not part of the decor. This
Okay.
is,
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I
Probably
digress.
I should I do it up? Should I? I feel like a nerd when it's up here.
So the other thing we were going to talk about was
My blush.
Doug Ford opening up onshoring
Yeah.
different factories, right?
what
So
does that
basically,
mean? By
so
when?
so first of all, everyone's upset right now with Carney. Let's talk about I'm all over the place. Poilievre, he doesn't even have a seat in the House right now, but he's still the head of the Conservative Party.
He is?
and he's now going to be going to Alberta.
He's the head of the
In order
party
to,
still?
if they have a by-election, he'll be able to win a seat in Alberta and to be able to go represent the Conservative Party as the leader of the
Isn't that
opposition
guy,
in the
like,
House again.
kiboshed or something? Didn't something happen with that? Somebody gave up his seat, and then did that happen yet, or that?
That's
didn't
what I was
happen yet?
told this week. So maybe I'm not up to date on it, but hey,
Hey.
bottom line is you go from the center of the world, other countries talking about how great you are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And how that, they're going to be, dealing with Poilievre going forward and not have to deal with Trudeau,
Yeah.
to all of a sudden you don't even get a seat,
Not even in the press really anymore. Do you like?
right?
I saw him put a tweet out this morning. Something about I don't know. Is it a holiday today? Is there some holiday going on for Palestinian people or
No, Eid Mubarak was
Eid Mubarak today?
yeah.
Happy Mubarak, everybody! Happy Mubarak. Anyways, so he was saying,
I apologize on behalf of my
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to be funny.
naive and ignorant co-host.
Well, listen, I brought it up. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not ignorant, but I am naive and rather.
Here, I just
silly.
got a live offer.
Oh, right on.
I got
right
a
here.
live offer.
For what?
I don't know if,
real estate?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know whether we should talk about it or not. It's nice enough. Can you read that?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that on the which one?
don't say the number out
No, I
loud.
won't. But is that on the which one is that? Where's the
Well,
address?
that's the one, obviously.
Oh, it is the one.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a big number.
It's a big number.
That's a big number.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
Is it a big enough number to have them on the hook?
Well,
Will
you know
that
what?
bait
We'll
them in?
find out because at the end of the day, they got the best guy on the job, so
Look at
we'll
that.
find out. That's the way it
TK's
goes.
getting giant offers while
Yep.
we're on the show.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be great? If,
I heard the market was dead.
right?
I heard the market was dead,
Right?
but not
I'm
for everybody.
Well, but this is the thing. Okay, so let's go back. I tried to say this before. Unemployment 9%, but
Yeah.
do you know anybody unemployed that was employed? I don't. I mean, I see lineups of people
Yeah.
that don't look like they're from around here
Very
looking for
unemployable.
jobs.
Very
Not so
unemployable people
employable,
right now
right?
are unemployed.
But
But the
I don't know
employer,
anybody that's
to be honest with you, the people that I know who have been laid off recently have all gotten jobs right away, and some of them even better jobs. Like
really.
I believe, yeah. Like if you're a skilled, like you speak fluent English, and
Yeah.
like you work somewhere for at least like 10 years, which people will consider having job skills. People will hire you.
Is it a low ball? TK breaking his fiduciary duty? How?
Listen, it's a great offer. We got lots of offers. We're going to get the best offer. And at the end of the day, it's going to sell for the most amount of money
most
because
amount of money.
that's what we do.
Or
you
not
know?
sell, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Are
It's
are these kind of people that like they're reasonable, or are they needing to sell? Or are they wanting to sell?
Look, as long as I'm on the watch, it's going to sell for the most amount of
gonna
money
sell.
possible. It's never going to sell for $1 less than it's worth. So that's the bottom line.
This is the problem. Is
Yeah.
the market dictates what it's worth.
The market will dictate what it's worth at the end of the day.
Fucked though. It's on
Yeah.
like some drugs right now.
But I'm still getting I'm getting a
disaster.
lot of heat from people. But honestly, I have a lot of clients who are like those people who are like retired age, 60 to 70, who have got, made a bunch of money in real estate. They're now selling their property, some with mortgages, some without mortgages. And there's sometimes a little bit unrealistic on the price and all that, but they get it. There's like they've been conditioned now. Maybe 2023, they're like, oh, like why would I sell for that price? My neighbor
Right.
just go that. Then 2024 happens. Now in 25, they're coming to us and saying like, hey, listen, we see the direction of the market. We know it's not where it was before, and now we're ready to sell. And we're realistic now.
Are these
and
employees or are these entrepreneur types?
Most of them are entrepreneur types. That's the truth.
Really?
That I'm dealing with. But there's also people who are working jobs too. Some of them are hardworking, blue-collar people. You know, their money's all in real estate. And so for the average person, you say, oh, they're really wealthy because they have millions of dollars tied into real estate. But like, that's like their whole, you know, net worth that they've been working 40 years for. And so, yes, they're doing well. Yes, I'd consider that, you know, an upper middle class type of situation. But at the end of the day, it's pretty normal.
I don't know.
There's a lot of people out there.
Though 9%, and it's even higher than 9%. I think it's like 9.2 or 9.4.
Yeah.
But we're even 9% like that. I mean, I know a lot of people, and that's 1 out of every 10 people should be unemployed technically. Now, I don't think most of the people I know are employees per se. Most of them are probably entrepreneurs. But I mean, I don't even. I know a few people that have downsized, but they downsized years ago. Like, I don't know anybody that's running for the hills, downsizing now, having trouble now.
Any clients I'm dealing with who've had that situation happen in the last year, they've gone out and found another job. Now, I've heard some stories about some people who are...
Local job?
Yeah, who are looking for jobs and that they couldn't find a job for a long time. But eventually they found something.
Like younger people, though. It's the young kids
older people. It's the younger people, though. That's what
they're having a real fuck up. Because
absolutely.
That's where they're in competition with the immigrants.
Because they did the survey. They said, "Hey, what are your of the Gen Zs? What are your expectations on income? What do you think Gen Zs were?"
Yeah, they think they're worth $100,000.
$500,000. That's like what they expect to be making as a job.
They need to make.
That's like
comfortable.
In order for me to have the life that I want, I need to make $500,000. Are you kidding me?
$500,000.
$500,000.
$500,000 after tax. You're like you're mid. You're.
I'm not saying it's the same as it was years ago.
You're middle class.
But if you're making $500,000 a year on a salary T4 income, okay,
upper middle,
you are living well.
Living well?
Yeah.
That's $250 you end up with, $260.
Okay, so how much is your mortgage payment?
For that guy?
Yeah.
That's the guy in Yorkville with the $2 million mortgage.
How much is that mortgage payment?
$2 million mortgage payment?
Yeah.
For that guy, it's probably like 20 grand a month, 17 grand a month.
No way. 12 grand a month.
8%.
6 grand a month per million.
Can't prove his income?
No, he's got a $500,000 in T4 income. He's got a mortgage.
Okay, so fine.
So he's 12 grand a month.
12, 13 grand a month.
Okay, so he's 12, 13 grand a month. So he's at $144,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's still got 100 grand to blow on whatever else he wants, and he gets to live in the area that he wants.
That's nothing.
$100,000 to blow on whatever you want. What are your expenses?
10 grand a month.
Okay, but you've already covered your $12,000 a month mortgage, Darryl.
If you're living $12,000 a month for your house, what's your car payment? What's your insurance? You've got internet. You got the best phone in the world.
$2,000 a month.
You're spending money on food.
$3,000 a month. $4,000, $5,000 a month. Yes, you're living paycheck to paycheck.
On a vacation.
But you're living good, baby.
You're living good.
You're living good.
Left, yeah.
Exactly. So you're. What did I say?
Class.
Did I say that you're putting away a lot of money and that you're doing well? No.
You're living good.
You're living good.
You're living good.
You're living good.
Right. With
there
no
you go.
money.
Everybody agrees with me. $500,000. Listen to this. He's saying $500,000. You're not living
mid.
good. Upper mid.
Upper mid doesn't get the same.
Where's your $2 million condo?
Where's the $2 million condo?
Yeah.
All over the place.
How many places have $2 million condos?
Look, if you were paying,
that is top class condos, first tier.
If you were
luxury.
paying like $1,500,
doesn't get them into your building.
No, it doesn't even get you like
a parking spot.
Yeah, barely get a parking spot.
Matt wants everyone to remember the drug budget as well.
The drug budget.
How much drugs do you do? What's an average drug budget?
Drug budget. Well, listen.
What's the drug budget? What's a drinking budget? $500 a week.
Coffee. You need a coffee budget these days.
Come on. $500K. You're not worried about your $8 coffees.
3 times a day.
Yeah.
It's $50 on coffee if you do math like my wife.
Yeah.
That's a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
What else do you need? You need to just show everybody you have money. So I mean, I don't know. I'm wearing American Eagle jeans for $80, but these guys are wearing. I don't even know the brand. What kind of pants are you wearing? Whatever TK's wearing, these guys are wearing, okay? And it costs a fortune.
Pants are expensive.
I don't know.
You go buy a nice pair of pants right now, you'll be surprised how much they cost.
I like American Eagle jeans, man. I'm not a fancy boy. I'm not a fancy boy at all. I thought I saw somebody ask if are they asking if my shoes or your
not wearing
shoes are not
shoes.
on screen? Yeah. So these are not Ferragamos for damn sure.
Yeah.
I'm not like that. Am I like that?
No,
I'm not like that.
no.
I mean,
Good style though. You're okay. You're
I
doing
would
fine.
like to be able to walk in those stores and not give a shit about spending the money, but like, it doesn't make any sense to me to go spend $500 on a shirt. Does that make sense? No? Yeah. TK's got $500 shirts like right there, folded up, just in case.
I think
you
everybody
need
needs a couple nice shirts. And to buy like
$500 shirt. You got a $500 shirt
you're talking like sometimes like $800-900
for a shirt?
Yeah.
God damn. I used to buy like custom tailored suits. Like the guy would come to me with a rack and like size me up. Even, I mean, that was a long time ago. Those are probably like $2,000 a suit. Yeah. But now it's stupid. It's dumb. It's like, I don't get it. Women walk around with these purses.
The purses are brutal. You can't like convince me that that's a good purchase.
Diamonds, like all this.
But it's all
shit.
like because you have that purse, it makes them feel good, and they're carrying it, and nobody else has got it. Watches in that category for sure.
Watches in that category too.
Yeah.
But this is like you look around and everybody's got it, and then I don't know. I don't see a recession. I just feel like there's supposed to be a recession, right? Based on everything and based on all the data. But like, you go to the mall, you go to the restaurants, and people are balling. You go downtown to Yorkville on Thursday night or Saturday night. It is insanity. Insanity, right? I don't understand. Where's all this money coming from? Meanwhile, you got unemployment like crazy. You can't tell. And then you got 850,000 people came in the country like in the first quarter or the first half. We're not even finished the first half. When was that stat from? Do you know?
I think it was the first quarter.
Third?
Or maybe it was the last quarter of last year or something. I think it was the first quarter this year. Yeah, I think it was the first quarter this year.
850,000 more people when we're supposed to be hitting the brakes.
In Canada, yeah. So 400,000 into Ontario.
So unemployment is really 22%, okay? If you count all the people that actually need jobs.
The numbers are coming down, though. The immigration numbers are coming down. Also, when they talk about new people, it's also permanent residents. There's a lot of people who are going to be getting permanent residency who are already here. You're going to have a lot less of the irresponsible immigration that we had from 2020 to 2023. That was irresponsible. Like, there was a clear issue with the way that they were bringing people in. Even the people coming in were like, how the heck did I get in here so fast? You guys should really start to tighten up your system here. This really doesn't make sense. You're talking to your Uber driver, and he's just like, yep, I just
walked in.
Made the application online. I clicked a couple buttons, and basically my plane ticket was booked for me, and the visa was approved. And they're like, I'm sending money back home, but I'm spending more money here than I thought. This is not as good of a life as I thought it was.
One day I just woke up here. Now I drive Uber.
Yep.
Right?
This is the way it goes. So
no, and they're engineers, right? These are like professional people that come in. They're driving Ubers.
Yeah.
And they're still here, and there's more coming.
Yeah.
And unemployment is piling up, and nothing is selling, and nothing is getting built. How is this gonna end?
Well, let's wrap up our show with this. Okay, our last topic of the day.
Let's do it. We have
okay.
one more topic.
Yeah.
We're gonna ignore that question.
No, that's what it is. That's the question. Yeah.
How is this gonna end?
How is this gonna end? Where is Canada gonna go from here? Is it gonna get better? Are we gonna see a crash and burn?
Better?
Yeah.
Like better with
I think
regards to
what I've witnessed in the last little while is these extreme circumstances have put pressure on the systems that have been governing Canada for a long time, and that there is major changes coming. I'm not saying it's gonna happen now, but I think that we've put under a magnascope the amount of wasteful government spending, immigration policies, housing policies, relationship with the U.S., manufacturing, how it's done, just in time. All those things have been put under pressure since COVID that we all were kind of just like, whoa, for 50 years we were doing it a certain way because it worked. But is that actually what's best for the Canada?
We're doubling down on
long
all that
time.
shit
No, we're all talking. The fact that we're talking about it means that people are going to start to change. And once the right government comes in, which we may or may not have right now, probably not, but we'll see. Then those changes will start to come, and we'll actually have a better Canada. That's I think exactly what's going to happen. I think there's a lot of good that comes from these type of hard times, and hard times create hard men.
Good man.
And hard men create good times. Good times create
Crappy man.
weak men. Weak men create
weak man.
hard times.
Trans people.
Is that
And
right?
all those kind of things.
Something like that.
Well, yeah, that's good. All right.
Good.
Fine.
Any thoughts, Darryl, from you?
Generally, no.
Okay.
Generally, no.
This is a great first live in-person podcast.
I don't know. I hope it was well received.
I think it's great. I think the format is nice.
yeah,
You look
looks
good. I
good.
look good. The background looks good.
Background looks
Young
good.
Aiden did a great job. We got
Great job.
the podcast banner here.
I don't like the beige. I don't know how that ended up being part of the color scheme.
Yeah.
I kind of hate the beige.
It's good. Looks professional.
I can always
Yeah. I hope
color
you guys.
correct that.
I hope you guys liked it in the comments.
Like,
and
comment, subscribe, follow.
Yep,
Swallow.
welcome.
Swallow and follow.
Everybody swallow.
Everybody swallow. Aiden, thank you.
We appreciate you
Look at
guys.
how
Also,
handsome
guys,
this guy is.
next
Look at how
tomorrow's
handsome that boy
episode,
is.
everybody, we're gonna have a special giveaway in the comments. Tomorrow's episode, not today's. Tomorrow's episode launch with Santo Sessa.
Santo Sessa.
Put in the comments how long you've been watching the show, and it's the honor system. Don't BS us. Tell
We'll
us
know.
exactly how long you were watching the show for,
Which was
and the
your
person
first
who's been
episode?
watching the longest
Gets
is going to get a prize.
prize. Do
Okay.
they get to come on the show
Listen, the prize will be announced once the winner is announced.
once the winner's
Just
announced,
guys, put it in the
simultaneously.
comments tomorrow. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all on the next live.